Hello and welcome to the Daylight Midnight Show. My name is Greg and this is what we're calling a triple whammy of a show because it is our season finale, it is our Christmas party and it is our first ever annual awards show. More on that later. I do have to start with a confession. I have for the first time this year defied what outfit roulette dictated I was supposed to be wearing. I'm supposed to be wearing sunglasses today, but I thought it's the last show before Christmas, I want to wear the Santa hat, and sunglasses came up, and I think sunglasses put a barrier between me and you because you can't see my eyes, and it just puts a bit of a block between us. So I've decided sunglasses is going to come off outfit roulette for the next series, and for this one time only, I've decided the rules will be slightly different, so I've gone with the Santa hat. There's no timer this week either. I'm not planning to go on much longer than 10 minutes, but I think Christmas party, we don't need the timer going off halfway through it. So, if it's going to be a Christmas party, we need a few things. We need some party snacks. It's not a party without Pringles. So, let's chuck some of those in there. We also need some party drinks. So, because the rules for this show is no drugs or alcohol, I've gone with some very, very cheap cherry cola. Nice little Christmas hit from that. Just be very careful not to spill it all over the Daylight Midnight desk. So we have some drinks, we have some snacks. We also need a Christmas cracker. Great thing about being self-employed is you can throw yourself a hell of a Christmas party and you don't have to share it with anyone. So from the ring we get, from the cracker we get this lovely ring. I'm assuming there'll be a joke or something in here, although a lot of them have stopped doing that. Where's my hat? Blue hat. Right, so let me see if... Can I put the Christmas cracker paper hat over the top of the Santa hat? This is going to work. I try and set a record every year for how long I have a Christmas hat on. I just sleep in one once. There we go, that'll have to do. And the joke then, what have we got in here? What do you get if you cross an apple with a Christmas tree, my friends? A pineapple. Merry Christmas, let's enjoy ourselves. So for the final time this year, we are going to activate the Gregometer. If you're not familiar with this, this is a very technical device. This was put together by scientific Santas in somewhere. And what this does is this monitors things like my pulse rate, whether I've been naughty or nice this year, how many strands of tinsel I've inhaled over the past week while decorating, and it's going to come up with one word that it thinks sums up me and the mood I'm in today, and therefore what kind of show you're going to have, and it beams it onto the expensive display cabinet behind me. And this week, the Gregometer thinks I am feeling merry. Yes, indeed. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So with that in mind, let's swing round to the Door of Delights and finish off the Christmas countdown. So Thursday, December the 17th has gone. I can take this down now because we won't be doing this anymore. I will be every night before bed, but you might see that there were 50 days to go when I started this. There are now just 7 days left until Christmas Day. A week from today, when I'm recording this, we'll be tucking into loads and loads of food with loads of empty present wrapping all the way around us. Enjoy it, my friends, milk it, have fun with it. So that won't be coming back next year until about December time, so the Door of Delights will have a new look for it as well. Oh, isn't this wonderful? Merry Christmas, my friends. Now, what we've decided to do this year, or this week to be slightly different, is to set up a bit of an awards ceremony. A lot of places do this at the end of every year, so we've done alright. I don't know whether to call them the Daylights, the Daylight Midnight Awards, the Daylight Midnight Show Awards, the Gregs, so we're just going to leave it for now. Some minor categories at first, so this is just a few sort of personal things that I think are the best or worst of this year. So the best film I've seen in the cinema. Now normally I go to the cinema about 50 times a year, but with what's been going on this year, I've only seen 4 films in the cinema. The best one I saw by far and away was Parasite. The best film I've seen at home, I've seen 150 plus films so far this year at home. I think my favourite was a little film called The Professor and the Madman, which was made by Amazon Studios with Mel Gibson and Sean Penn in, and it's about the first ever compiling of the Oxford English Dictionary. So it's a true story, brilliant, the acting in it is just mwah. My favourite song of the year, difficult one this because I don't listen to much new music, so I've actually gone for a song recorded by someone I know that lives in Norwich, an actor I've worked with before who's also a musician who is called Jack Fisher, and during the first lockdown he wrote and recorded a song called Coma Aroma, which he put on YouTube and you'll find it. Coma Aroma by Jack Fisher. Best book I read this year, Wilt by Tom Sharp, read for the first time in over 20 years, that was good fun. And The Mirror and the Light, which is the Cromwell book by Hilary Mantel, which came out right at the start of lockdown and helped me through that difficult month because it's about that thick. So I sat outside reading that every day, so we might as well go with that one. And our final minor award, my favourite moment of the year. I put a lot of thought into this one, and I think what I've gone with is about the second time we went to see my parents after the restrictions were lifted. So this would be sort of early July, and because my parents live over an hour's drive away, we hadn't seen them at all during the first lockdown. Popped to see them, and then this second time we went round. They've got a nice bit of garden, so we all sat outside for about 3 hours. It was a beautiful, sunny, summery day, and we forgot about the virus. We forgot about the fact we hadn't seen each other for 3 months. It had just been this lovely afternoon of everyone spending time together and forgetting what had happened, and that those months apart from each other were forgotten about. And I think it's important to remember that at the moment, because we're facing this winter where we're not going to see much of them again, and it'll all come back. Spring, summer 2021, we will be back in their garden enjoying each other's company once again. So let's move on to the major awards then. We have 5 categories that we're giving away this year. I should explain it's not just me as the presenter that has decided on these. The entire production team came together. So category number 1 this year is the most surprising thing about the year 2020. The most surprising thing about the year 2020, and these are our nominations. Number 1, Greg's ever-growing crush on the science advisor Chris Whitty. Nomination number 2, 9 months into a pandemic, people still can't get their heads around the virus and how it spreads and how we need to stop it. And fact number 3, or nomination number 3, is the fact that it's already over, because the year has gone so fast. So let's have a little drum roll. And our first award of the day, the most surprising thing about the year 2020 is... it's nearly over. Yes, a worthy winner, that one. I don't know about you, but when they announced the lockdown, I thought, we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything, I won't be working, time is going to drag, and suddenly we are at the middle of December. Our second category is Taste Sensation of the Year. Now, I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this on this show, but I love food. And I love trying new foods, and I love trying new combinations. So this is an award for something I've tried this year that I'd never tried before, that was like a revelation to me. So these are the nominations. Number 1, sesame crackers with coconut oil, Marmite and peanut butter. This is a homemade invention. We started buying these, they're quite cheap, sesame crackers, and I just experimented with different stuff, and I had them with coconut oil, Marmite and peanut butter and put it all together. And it's just an explosion of flavour. It looks like diarrhea on a cracker, but this is what it ends up looking like. But believe me, the combination of flavours is just amazing. So that's been my go-to snack at lunchtimes, really since about March time when I first tried it. Taste Sensation of the Year, nomination number 2 is Spicy Chai Tea, becoming very popular now because it's quite Christmassy. And nomination number 3 is a recent addition, watermelon in curry sauce, which you might have heard me talking about recently. Happened by accident, absolutely beautiful flavour. So let's have a drum roll on this one. And I can tell you that the taste sensation of the year is Spicy Chai Tea. And I will be enjoying a mug of that as soon as I finish this recording, which at the rate we're going will probably be on about January the 7th. Our next category is the most overused word or phrase of the year. A lot of things have become very repetitive this year, so we have several nominations for this. Most overused word or phrase of the year, Greg, don't touch me. Norwich City nil, that's one from the early part of the year. And these are the other nominations then, overused phrases or words. Ramping up, second wave, spike and unprecedented. And I think all of those nominations are worthy winners, but the winner of the Greg Award for the most overused phrase or word of the year 2020 is unprecedented, which I think we are all sick of hearing. You could almost argue that the word unprecedented has been used an unprecedented number of times. So our fourth award is another one about food. The best new homemade pizza topping tried during 2020. Don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the show before, but I love food. I love trying different combinations of food, and we quite regularly make our own pizzas at home, so we mix up the dough ourselves, we use our oven, and every time I like to try something completely different. So these are the best new pizza toppings that I might have tried any time this year that I'd like to recommend. Nomination number 1 is peanut butter. Save a little corner of the pizza, don't put any of the sauce on it or cheese, just spread peanut butter on it, cook it as normal, and it's a lovely brittle dessert combined with on the pizza itself. That's nomination number 1. Nomination number 2 is turmeric. I have found that if you just sprinkle turmeric over the top, it cooks lovely and adds a little flavour. Number 3 was an accidental one, which was spinach and soy sauce. I had a very meat, very cheese heavy pizza, realised I had no vegetables on it at all, so one section I just covered in spinach and poured soy sauce on top, and it was gorgeous. So those are the nominations, and I can tell you that the 2020 award for the best new homemade pizza topping that I've tried this year is turmeric. And I've selected that because, do you know what? Whatever else you've got on your pizza, if you sprinkle turmeric over the top before you cook it, it adds an extra bit of colour and it will improve all the flavours. So we come to our final award of the year on this, the final show of the year, and this is the one that everybody wants to win, I think. This award is the 1970s movie title that best describes 2020. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about that, and then I'll read it again. The 1970s movie title that best describes 2020. So it's not about the content of the film, it's about the actual title of the film and how well that applies to what's happened this year. So the nominations are these. Number 1, from 1979, Apocalypse Now. Nomination number 2, from 1976, Rocky. And nomination number 3, from 1978, Up in Smoke. So, which 1970s movie title best describes the year 2020? Our decision is Rocky. It's been up and down, it's been difficult to navigate, it's been a rocky year, but it's almost over, my friends. And this show is almost over as well. We're going to have Christmas Day and New Year's Day off, so Series 2 will launch on Friday, January the 8th in the year 2021. A rhyming couplet to end the show on. Throughout this strangest year, we've had the virus dominating, but stuff it, it's December now, let's all start celebrating. I will see you next year. Have a great Christmas.